in Homewood at the Homewood Historical Farm. I am in some tall grass, loving it. It's beautiful, and I'm going to show you guys some plants. So here we have some plants. It looked like it's coriander growing, which is a flower of cilantro. When you see that flower, it's usually seedy. We try to harvest it before it's seeded, but it may be something different. And then we have some knotweed, which the bees really love. They love that. We we have some knotweed here. We have fruit trees over here. Narcans here for anybody to have who is having addiction issues. So that is available. It's here. We didn't put this here. We have litter bugs that like to spray paint and leave stuff like that because they're bitter, because we're better. But they don't have to be because we share what we have, what the Lord gives us. We share it. But some people have their feelings about that. This is another tree, and these are some more plants. You see this little bag because they're having issues. Because, like Tupac said, it's Gemini season. You know, he said, "My mama was a crack ring, mama. You always was a black queen, mama." And speaking of that, speaking about the Shakurs, my mother told me that my grandmother, Winifred Elizabeth, actually was the rider for Assata Shakur and drove her down to Florida to escape from American citizens. Isn't that dope? I'm very proud of my grandma Winnie. I have pictures of my grandmother Winnie in my shorts, and we look just alike. I love her so much. I am getting some extra keys made, but over here, these are where our bees at. I'll show you our bees right here. We have bees. They're doing their thing. We harvest honey. It's organically grown, and we have a beekeeper, Brother Maurice, who is awesome. So they're doing their thing, making the honey. Isn't that cool? Isn't that dope? And over here we have sage run. So usually we have other plants growing than sage, but some of the people, there's always ops within a court, within a kingdom, within a queendom. So they just want to grow sage because I'm a sage, and if I was a boy, my mom would have named me Sage. And they're insecure. They're like on this Rachel Leah spell. My sister's a Sagittarius, so they're trying to make it seem like all my friends and sisters is supposed to have my man, all my fake friends and sisters. They're trying to mess with me and make me insecure, but it doesn't matter. I'm a goddess. They be like sneak this in me. But we have more fruit trees over here. We got this little path going on. It's pretty cool. And more fruit trees. And that is pretty cool. So yeah, I'm just gonna freshen you up with some built-in news, and we're gonna keep it live. We're gonna keep it cool. So I wanted to talk about some things I was talking about yesterday. I mentioned in the evil live yesterday, that people are trying to set me and my family members up. Um, and I am dealing with treachery in and out of my home. In and out of my home. Somebody left a blunt wrapper of diamond blunts today on my step, on my porch, or whatever. And the post office does a lot of they do a lot of when a post office comes to you and when you receive that mail, it is unsovereign, and they have it's called the mail because they're coming for the men in your life. They're coming for the men. That's why it's called the post office. That's why they have the eagle. So we're eventually going to have our own post office and everything like that. It's very important. um so what I'm going to talk about is just some of the things that I've been through while the beautiful sun is setting. um Some of the things that I've been experiencing is a lot of jealousy. It's because I'm a chosen one of the Most High, and I don't have a jealous bone in my body. I've never been jealous. I have a heart of gold, and I'm brave, and I'm strong, and I'm courageous. And because of that, because I believed in the Most High and I believed in God and I believed in people. It made me actually the Most High. It made me that. And people of all nations all over the world have issues with that. So I wanted to start doing live so I can have a broader audience, so I can connect to the people. God is us. We're in God. And I know we all have good intentions, but I don't say the word blessed because it has the word S in it and it means to be less. And they're trying to bleed me. They're trying to sacrifice me. Um, but I'm not going to have it. I have to deal with a lot of witchcraft inside my house. They move furniture around. They do a lot of weird stuff in my house. My siblings and my parents do a lot of weird things in my home. When I go outside in the community, they're littering. If you notice people littering in your community, it's because they're trying to put strongholds. Like up the street, we have Frankstown Avenue. Everybody knows about Frank's Hot Dogs. Everybody knows about Frank's hot sauce and Frank hot dogs. Why do you think they have Frank's hot dogs and Frank's hot sauce? It's because there's a spell that's hot on Frank. Think about that. Think about Frankenstein and why high school monsters' best friends is Frankenstein. Like my sister Offset, she had a friend named Frankie who was very jealous, you know. So everything's connected. And I noticed what they was doing, that they was littering Frank's hot sauce on my property. They litter Doritos because Doritos is connected to El Dorado and Dora the Explorer. So all of these brand names that they are selling us in these stores, in these corporations, which are corpses, are actually trying to capture our souls. And I know some of you have noticed that in your own life. Another thing that they litter is Hawaiian fruit punch because I'm connected to Hawaii. They litter that because they're trying to do strongholds. They also litter Arizona because I'm connected to Arizona and the land and the Navajos and the Hopis around that area. They litter that. Um, I could just show y'all some of the things that they litter. For instance, other than they have a mask right here, and I also I've been journaling, I've been taking notes on paper, but when we write on these papers from these companies, we're actually doing destruction. So they got some litter over here, it's some trash, they're sneak dissing. These people are really in their feelings because they thought that the the children that are like evil was going to try to overcome me and the adults was going to try to overcome me, but they can't do that. So um they uh they litter paper because paper is connected to the paw, to the father, papyrus. So they have paper here littered on my farm. They're ripping up my paper because they're coming for Cleopatra, the patriarch, the paternal. They're coming for that. So this is the other part of our farm. They littered some bowl here, but I've been really maintaining, trying not to complain. There's some Narcan right here too. Um, they're upset because I'm not letting them do witchcraft spells with cans that have caps on them because they're trying to do Cancer and Capricorn spells, trashy spells, ashtray spells, sex trafficking spells, pedophile spells, and they're ops. And they're jealous of me because I know who I am and they're still figuring it out. They thought they were me for some reason, but they're not. So this is a pollinator garden over here, and we're just going to check on the plants that I planted and see if any ops uprooted anything, because they come in my farm and they try to uproot things. Like they took the wood. This all used to have wooden beds, but they took the wooden beds out of them because they're haters. So you'll see they uprooted this plant. Here's the uprooted plant that I have to plant. There's a lot of plants that I have to plant that they uproot because they're jealous, because they're niggas. They're niggas and then they're all. So when they're together, I call them knickknacks because that's what they are. But then I say I can't give them that compliment because I'm the nigga, I'm the ginger. If you look at the word nigga, it has ginger in it, and I'm a Capricorn rising, and it's the Capricorn moon, and they can't take my nigga, so I don't even want to get them that. Then I say they're not Nathanaels because Nathanaels is net, and I'm the fish. And then net backwards is 10, and I ain't give him that. I'm the damn 10 Capricorn 10th house up in here, so why would I give him that credit? They ain't even niggas and nignats. And you know they ain't a bitch because I'm the beach. So I can't give them that. And they want to cha with me. That's why there's a CH for Christ at the end of bitch and beach. But I can't even call him a bitch because that's a compliment. I can't even give him that. So now I'm about to plant this plant. And this, I say this isn't for kids because kids don't need to be shocked that the schools they go to are trying to do witchcraft on them. But I am in the future going to make something that's for kids called Essence Adolescent. That's going to be focused on kids, how we can make arts and crafts, recipes that we can do with our family, with our parents. Me and my siblings are going to be doing things, um, different things, studying. It's going to be really nice. So it's it's dry. I'm probably going to come back after I do some grocery shopping and water the plants. Sometimes I don't like to use tools with the plants because they're metal. And even though Ogun is the ancestor of metal and it's important, sometimes we just got to dig our hands in the plants and be natural. So they do need water. And it was a hot day. I might just water them now. But I'm probably going to come back later and water them. So I'm very thankful for everybody being here. And I just want to talk about things that's going on in our community. And look at the deer. Isn't that nice? There's probably chowing getting some grub. That's nice. So I'm going to have a seat and we're going to speak. So I hope everyone is having a beautiful day. I'm very thankful. I am looking forward. I'm working on a grant, and in the word grant, we have the word "and." And in my past life, when I was Cleopatra, my man was Mark Antony. So I have to be very careful about these grants because they're trying to X me. And in front of the word grant, we have the word G and R. And that's greener and red. That's Genesis and Revelations. If you think about it, if you think about the spelling, why there's a spelling bee, they're spelling because it's really spells, and that's how you're able to learn about different things. Um, so they're trying. So even though I'm applying to this opportunity, that's a grant. It could opt me. We have a street in Pittsburgh called Grant Street, and it has most of the banks on it. It has this big health insurance company called UMPC, which is a corporation that is actually trying to put my soul in it. It's trying to put my corpse in it. My family has 302 me since I was 10 years old after my grandfather died when my mother was pregnant with my sister because they thought they was going to betray me with my sister and try to replace me. They do little witchcraft spells like that. Up the street, there's a Masonic Lodge meeting going on right now at the side on the side of my house, and they're meeting and they're congregating. There are a handful and some people who are actually good people that try to do good, but they're outnumbered by bad people. A lot of people in America are greedy, and a lot of them condone slavery. Last night, I was watching an interview with the president of Burkina Faso, and he was talking about getting French and American troops out of his country. And the journalists were great, and everything he said was great, and I'm thankful for that. And what I realized is sometimes we can't watch the whole video because when we watch the whole video, they could take it. In the word video, what I learned is vid, and that sounds like David. And in the word photo, there's photon. And I'm a Pisces and a Virgo, so I think about, oh, photo Pisces, video Virgo. What does that have to do with things? And I learned from doing research and studying different people that there is esoteric things in these videos that we are documenting our lives on. and social medias. So, what I was thinking about different things last night after the interview, and I was thinking if West Africa could have their own union and get together, then when one country isn't being attacked, then all the West African countries could come together and defend them, like East Africa, South Africa, and Central Africa. And annually, all the different parts of Africa could come together to connect so we can dispel what they tried to do with the Geneva Convention, splitting Africa up in 34 countries. It's very important to talk about unity with the melanin individuals, with the melanites, because in order for us to integrate and have diversity and inclusion with the community of people that are outside of the melanin race, we need to hold each other accountable and have cooperation and responsibility and all of those great attributes which we learn and celebrate when we celebrate Kwanzaa. Speaking of Kwanzaa, when I was incarcerated, I had an argument with a correctional officer and an inmate who just happened to both be born under the sign of Cancer, and they were saying that Kwanzaa is a racist holiday. And the officer told me that you don't hear, I made him apologize, and he did apologize. He said that you don't hear the Jews complaining, and they went through the Holocaust. Meanwhile, there was an inmate who was Jewish there, and that's all she was doing for hours was complaining. And how can you compare the Holocaust that happened in a couple decades or a decade to the transatlantic slave trade that lasted hundreds of years, which is still going on to this day? So I said, that was a good man. So I'm thinking if that man said that, and if I had to go back and forth and defend my people, not only against him, but his assistant and another inmate all by myself, then just imagine how many other Nathaniels think like that, want to be Nathaniels. Like I said, I'm the real Nathaniel. I'm not even going to give him that. How many other people think like that? They think like that, and then they'll try to be cool with us. So I made him apologize about it. I made him apologize for disrespecting my people. He said some other things that I can't remember right now, but he did apologize. Um, so um, it's very important. What I realized, I'm wearing my hair natural because, as we know, there is lead in the hair, and lead in weave is LIW, and that spells the word will. And William is my brother, and they are trying to connect the dots with William Shakespeare. I'm from Pennsylvania, who's named after William Penn, and we have a hotel in Pennsylvania called the Omni William Hotel. If you look in my photos in the community post, you'll see I have some birthday pictures up in the William Hotel. They had my cousin working in there. They're doing witchcraft. They have a cafe in there that's painted all teal. And I told you that time backwards is what? Time is EMIT backwards, which is Emmett. What? Emmett Till. And I was born in March. So my birthstone is an aquamarine, and that's Till. And I realized that they're trying to do Emmett Till spells on us when they use the color turquoise. Look at that turquoise in the background. Y'all see that right there? They're always trying to jog my memories. So those were some yeah, they're always trying to jog my memories and stuff like that. And and speaking of jogging, when you see these white college students, so-called white college students, because we're really white and holy, but when you see them jogging, what they're really trying to do is run a land. They're trying to run it. They're not just jogging because they want to work out and keep fit. What are you running for? They don't even be fat or nothing like that. They're running because they want to run it. And they are trying to take over our land, and that's why they jog. And usually white people don't run in this neighborhood. But the other day, when mom opened the door, I seen a white man ran. And the Native American spirits talked to me through the animals. And there was a couple groundhogs trying to communicate with me. And when I was on my way to my aunt's funeral, I seen a dead groundhog, roadkill, and I had to put it on the side of the road and put it, somewhere. When usually I'm walking, I had to put it by a tree in the grass. When I'm walking, I see cardinals, I see birds. Sometimes I put them up. Humans try to kill them. Um, they had my sister leave. Y'all know about the BMF mob, The two brothers, the twins who had the gang BMF. Well, think about this. B, like a bumblebee, was left upstairs on the third floor in my dresser, B. Then there was a mosquito left in a tub, M, in the bathroom on the second floor. Then there was a fly left in my cooking pot on the stove, F, B, M, F. Ain't that deep? They had my little sister leave all those dead insects, layer them like that. Ain't that something? Ain't it trifling? It's trifling. That's what it is. So they also left some hair. I have Harrises in my family. The man that I was just currently with for a long time has Harrisons in his family. And I have a crown, which is my hair. So they try to pick at me and deteriorate me, but I'm so confident how God aligned me. It really doesn't bother me, but I'm just being protective for my future children and my family. So the witchcraft that they do on me or attempt to do, because I don't acknowledge it or confirm it, don't hurt me. So what my goal is to make changes for the better for my past, present, and future. Because what I've learned is that they're all simultaneously connected. And that's what I aim to do. Um, Here are some beautiful trees that we have. Um, I believe that they grow fruit, and you'll see the other side of our farm where the bees are at, right there in the corner. Is pretty cool. Um, Another thing that I noticed that I kind of been all over the place. I have been taking notes about my experiences, which is kind of traumatizing, but it's not because I'm the drama and so they can't give me the trauma. You know what I mean? Because I'm the karma and I'm Carmel, so I'm going to put it on them. And I am definitely the queen bee of the spelling bee, and they can't outspell me. So I'm here to help everybody realize the spells that your fake family, fake friends, fake community neighbors is trying to do to you. You think it's a coincidence, but it's not. And you know what? I'm not trying to be negative. I think, I'm very optimistic, which is a op. People are optimistic, pessimistic, realistic, but really all those things is ticks. So just be you, be true, and do the best thing that you can do. That's what matters. That's what's going to make a difference. Um, I realized that men and women of God are connected just by looking at their names. You'll see a lot of the brothers and sisters who've been there for the people, who've been revolutionary. They have a lot of things in common. We are all part of a tribe. My elder taught me that we shouldn't use the word tribe for certain reasons, and I realized what he meant by that because they're trying to like tribute us. Um, And then I realized, we have a literature company in Pittsburgh called the Tribute Review. I interviewed someone from there for my graduation project way back when I was in high school. And then we have a paper called the Post Gazette. And I wondered, that's the French word gazette, gazelle. And I wondered how that's connected to the word gazebo and different things like that. So that's something interesting. And also, um, I noticed that there's different things going on with Britain and bridges. We have the Birmingham Bridge in Pittsburgh, and then there's also Birmingham in Ethiopia. The original Birmingham is in Ethiopia, but we have the Birmingham Bridge in Pittsburgh, right where I'm from. I'm an uptown girl. I'm from 2010 Fifth Avenue, Fifth Avenue in Uptown, right next to downtown in Pittsburgh. And we have the Birmingham Bridge. That's right there, and it's till. And when I realized that the clock that's on the other side of the street that been blue for years since I was a child, they just recently, before I went to jail, painted it red because they're trying to threaten me and they're like, look at the time. We got Emmett Till. So they're always trying to taunt me. He's from Chicago. You know what they did to him down in the South. It was very horrible. They had these refrigerator spells. When I was a child, there was a Till refrigerator in my playroom next to my bedroom, and my cousin, Sean, who just happens to be a Scorpio, just like Sean P. Diddy, molested me. And he tried to do a hot dog spill on me. They told him to put his penis between my butt. And I was just like 6 or 7 years old. And so now when I'm buying stuff on Amazon, I told y'all my brother's name is Amazing. So we have CEA. CEA is the Community Empowerment Association, but really CEA stands for Chiaka, that's my father, Essence, and Amazing, that's my brother. My father's an artist, I'm an artist, and my brother Amazing is an artist. So my mom fought Amazing's mom real close to the company, to the after school program CEA, in front of a shelter hardware store that makes keys, because my father is a real key maker. He's a real key maker in the matrix. And I got this keychain with my birthstone in it, aquamarine, which is teal. And my mom fight over man. You know what I mean? That's foam. You know, and my father, he makes art with styrofoam. So she said it was my brother Amazing. So yeah, so I'm like, okay, we're both born on holidays. He's born on Christmas, I'm born on St. Patrick's Day. They might have wanted to do some witchcraft on that. His mother has a similar his mother's first name is similar to the man that I've been with, is similar to um my man's last name. That's not a coincidence. And when we lived at the projects, the street that we lived on is similar to his name. That's not a coincidence at all. And I know that some of you people, and I'm looking at the time, and it's his birthday time, the 26th. My grandmother and him and my twin flame's child was, those are two different people. My twin flame is connected to Mark Anthony and Julius Caesar, and my soulmate is connected to Mark Anthony and Julius Caesar. I don't try to like say which one is which, because it's just, I don't try to do that, but we kind of know what it is. But the ops and the Masons have tried to use them against me and tried to turn them against me because they hate on us, and everything like that. So they do a lot of conquer and division spells, and you'll see that in Kata. Like, yeah, you know what I mean. I don't have any ill feelings or whatever. I try not to be bitter. I try to be better, because when you're bitter, they will bite you. Don't be bitter, because they bite, and a lot of them have bitten me, but it's cool. So, and cool is locked, so it ain't cool. So I I realized that that was a setup. They were all jealous of my mom when my mom was with my dad, because my dad is the real president. My dad is basically father time. That's who my dad is. My mother is Mother Nature, and I'm Earth. I'm Mother Earth. My mom's Mother Nature. My father's Father Time, and I'm Mother Earth. And they seen the beautiful family that I had, and they were all scared. And I'm telling you, these Europeans, these fake Europeans, because we're really the Europeans, they would never be able to do witchcraft on us and take our land if it wasn't for a couple niggas selling out. And that's what's happening. You better believe it. I am telling you, it's your family members that have the same blood as you that say you out. You'll wonder why they give you a gift. But if you like, let me tell you, my aunt, she made a purple and silver cake for my grandmother's birthday when she was living. What's purple and silver? PAS, pass. She was giving her a death wish to pass away. Yup. Ain't that shady? Then she taught my little sister to make buffalo dip. What's buffalo dip? B, D. Okay, B is 2 and D is 4. And my sister's 24 now. But she made that buffalo dip years ago. But 24 years ago, my mom was pregnant with my sister that I'm talking about, and started to abuse me, hit me all up in the corner and all in the face, because I wouldn't tell her how my day was after I run the race. I ran a race, beat all the kids like Forrest Gump. They was jealous, and she beat me, dragged me out the house half naked, started lying on me and having me 302, which is 3 plus 2, which is 5. I'm a 5. That's my numerology. And they just wanted me to go to the psychiatric hospital so I wouldn't be able to get a gun license. They 302 me. I don't know how many times they 302 me and put me in a hospital. But my last experiences in the hospital, the doctors were threatening to kill me, the nurses were threatening to kill me, the staff was threatening to kill me. Everybody was acting crazy. They was putting me in a sweat room for hours, not giving me nothing to eat, torturing me, basically trying to make me scared. But I can't be scared of the people that's scared of me. If they're sending me to the man that I've been with for the past 15 years, mother's house, when my mom has me in her womb and she's turning on an almond movie, the almond movie about the devil, and then I don't meet her until 20 years later, and then while I'm already dating her son, and I'm calling this woman aunt who's supposed to be my mom's sister because my grandfather, uh my grandma Winnie hired a little girl, a little 15-year-old girl to help her with her housework, and she ended up having sex with my grandfather Robert. Both, and then they had a son. So she already had a daughter. She already was fast. She already had a daughter, and that daughter that she had is my man's mother. So my mom met her when she was a teenager at a school dance. They went to an art school called Kappa, and that's no, there's Kappa, Aries, there's Capricorn, Aries, Pisces, Aries. I mean, there's Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces, Aries. Come on, that's CAPA. That's Kappa, but it's the art school, and they have creative arts, performance, academics. But no, really, it's esoterically or energy. So my mom took me over there when I was in her womb, and she played the omen. They were plotting on me when I was in the womb. That's how you know. And after we was already dating, we met at the Hunwood Library when Sister Latava was in town doing the Black woman's agenda. So we met, and after I already, was with her son, then it's like, oh, we're cousins, but we're not really blood related because she already was born. She's not my grandfather's daughter. My grandfather just raised her. So it was weird being with somebody who like we have the same grandfather. And where he was at, the funeral home that I believe she killed both her parents, including my grandfather. The funeral home, a lot of people do that. I'm gonna just tell y'all right now. I know that my mom didn't kill my grandma, but what a lot of people are doing is killing their parents and killing their children for the gain. So everybody knows that anybody's able to take a life insurance policy out. What I've realized, there's hidden contracts in life insurance, and I'm not trying to embarrass anybody. I told y'all the other day, I came on here talking about how I started the Geneva Convention when I was 14 years old and prostituted with a woman named Geneva. And I'm not playing because that's what really happened. Like, that's sad. And I'm 34, and there's 34 countries in Geneva. And I'm a number five. And for me to do that at 14 is pretty, adds up to what? One plus four is five. You know what I mean? So, I was on a 77 bus today that connects Hunwood and the Hill together in downtown, both the neighborhoods that I'm raised in. That adds up to five too. So it's not a coincidence. And I have 7 degrees. I was born with 7 degrees in my moon and 7 degrees in my Jupiter. So that's not a coincidence. And I have 7 degrees in my Mercury as well. That's 777. And these people have the nerve to mock me and try to put me in casinos, try to mock my past life as Cleopatra and all the pain that I went through. You hear that noise, y'all? They, they got the niggas out. They screaming. So I'm tell on God. What's that backwards? God. They got me. Because I told them, God. Ain't that something? They try and tag me, y'all. But I ain't worried about it because I don't fear them. And that's what they need. They need fear. You know, it's really strange that the things that the people do, people or try to steal or trash. People try to approach me and ask me if I want to set people up, and I have to tell them no. They're always trying to get me in the game. They're always trying to get me to sell my soul. But I already sold my soul. Why would I do that again? I'm selling my soul right now just being on YouTube. It's a sellout because I know that this app is trying to mock me as the Appalachia, as the Three Rivers. I know this app is trying to mock my brother Yaku because it's YouTube. It's red for a reason. It's treason. But I'm selling out so I can sell in. So while I'm experiencing what's going on in the matrix, I could get to a point where where me and my children could be moving like we want to Nebuchadnezzar, like King Nebuchadnezzar in the Bible, so we could actually have that pilgrimage to Zion and live more authentically and live more naturally like some of the indigenous and aboriginal peoples do. So I might have to get some CRs and some copyrights so my children don't have to do that and everything, like to make a better life for them. And I know there's a lot of people out here that's connecting with sovereignty communities, but a lot of these Moors and all that, more backwards is room. And we know a room is a womb. So we know that a lot of people is selling out, and they act like they're all peaceful and African, but those is the ones you gotta watch. The ones that be wearing the dashikis and the locks and be repping Africa and be doing all that, you gotta watch out for them because they be doing witchcraft just like the hippity hop people with the low fade and the cut and the bottles and all that. They're all together. Don't think that they're separate. They're all working for the same game. But I'm telling you, no matter what, there are good people on both sides. You can't separate the material and the spiritual realm, the conscious and the subconscious realm, because there's good people on both sides, and we're all spiritual beings. Spiritual has the word spear in it, like a dagger. That's a spear. You know what I mean? And material has the word mate in it, matter, mate. So that's really important. And I just wanted to go live because we know live backwards is evil. And I wanted to talk about some evil things because I am Eve and I am Eve. And they wanted to take my veil because I'm the bride of Christ. And they don't want that in my life, but they can't take it. They can't take it from me. They can't take the BS. The S are the best for me. And, I'm very thankful. I try not to complain because at the end of the day, I get to be with myself. I love myself. I wouldn't want to be nobody else. I get to have a relationship with the Most High, and I know the people on here listening to me can relate. I know y'all can relate to me when I say that I love being who I am. I know y'all love being who you are because you chose to be who you are. The things that you went through in life that hurt you was supposed to motivate you, was supposed to put you in a position in life so you could be stronger. So that wasn't supposed to break you. That was supposed to make you. That was supposed to make you stronger. You know what I mean? What we go through only makes us stronger. It don't kill us. But what they're really trying to do is hurt our souls and literally our feet. I realized that teeth and feet both sound alike. And with their teeth, who looks at our teeth? Orthodontists. Who looks at our feet? Orthopedics. We know that the Russian and Ethiopian church, or Ra, is the Orthodox Church, right? So there's no coincidence that our mouth and the base of ourselves, or south or feet, deals with ortho. And as I was studying, I was listening to Dr. Layla Africa, and he was talking about when he was in school, he was able to learn about the triceps, the biceps, all of these steps, and the intestines in a body are named after Greek parts of the languages that are named after certain deities in those cultures. And he learned it had a story talking about our stomachs and our intestines, and he learned that he was able to unspell some things and realize what they were doing by naming certain parts of the body and what they were actually doing. So, also to add on that, when you work out, you know what I mean, when we do physical activity, we are building up strength in our bodies, but we're also breaking down muscle and tissue, and our bodies are going through war trying to get space. And when you work out, try to balance each side of your body so it can be fair. And when you sit, don't cross your legs like this because it takes off circulation according to Dr. Drew Pukram. So you want to have your feet flat. You want to try to have good posture. That's very important so we can have good circulation. Take your time. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out because oxygen is the cure all. It's very beneficial to you to have oxygen And speaking of ox, they say the ox is the bull. They talk about oxymorons. They got Botox. They got detox. What are they really trying to do with the ox? And then they got the box. So a lot of people in a lot of restaurants and stores and movie companies do spells with boxes. I just took some boxes out and they were stolen from my trash before the trash was even taken out. And it was a threat to my brother, like, we got your B ox, we got your boy, but they don't got nothing. They're only digging a grave for themselves. That's what they're doing. And they know it. Before they tried me, they was messed up. While they tried me, they messed up. And after they tried me, they really gonna be messed up. So look at the deer looking at me. That's the Native American spirit, y'all. Y'all see it? Yeah, you cute deer. So the deer backwards is red. If you just think about red, RED, deer. And I lived in a neighborhood called Garfield, and we have a street called Dearborn. And then we have a store called Penican Dairy. So the deer spirit is really deep. And with the man I've been with, he told me that the deer was actually followed by the pilgrims and the settlers who came to this land to learn how to actually build the roads and the highways. They were following the deer trails. Isn't that interesting? So the deer is grazing, getting some food. I shouldn't have put it on camera because Lord knows I'm already putting myself. I don't need to captivate and capture the deer and put it in that spell like that, because you know what I mean. They're literally trying to put us in a box. Why you think the whole Barbie movie, they did the Barbie movie because of me. That year on my birthday, before the Barbie movie came out, I turned 30 and I had a whole party by myself playing Barbie music, I was playing all the dolls, Ivory doll, all the dolls. Y'all know who all the dolls are. There's a whole bunch of them. There's like 5 dolls. I was playing all of them, plus Aqua. I'm a Barbie girl. And then it came out 3 months later with the Barbie movie, which they were working on for years just for me. So, yeah, and they got Margot Robbie playing her. They got Margot Robbie playing my shadow side, Harley Quinn, because they know my man's the Joker. We know what his real name is. Thou art so holy. Okay, so that gives you a clue right there. And then, I'm so prim and proper. Prim and proper. That's what I call them. I call them prim and proper. Who's going to stop her? You know what I mean? And they wanted to put me in a doll. They want to put me in plastic, but they cannot plast me. They want my placenta in plastic, but they cannot plasterize me. They just want to put me on plasma TV. They want my blood. They want ketchup. They want plasma. They want mustard. They want my mucus. That's relish, and they all want to put it on a hot dog and eat it. Ain't that nasty? On a hot dog bun, acting like it's my butt. Now you know they ain't right for that. They ain't right. And guess what? Crack a smile. Sack. What's sack backwards? That's Cass. What's Cass? Cain, Abel, Seth. They want my babies because I'm Eve. And that's essence versus everybody. So it's the evil of life. I'm coming out here to protect my children. When I was Eve with Adam, when I was Esther with Artices, when I'm Essie with Art, when I'm Essence with Arthur, and I'm telling you right now, I'm not really hung up on a guy or anything like that or a man, because my grandpa, my man, my twin flame, and my soulmate are all God. And if they want to come and go, as long as I'm still here, that's all that matters. They can't crack a smile and cast me. They want to castrate me. They can't take a bottle of broken glass and cut off my clitoris because they ain't messing with my clit. Oh no, like Kanye said, they ain't fucking with my clit. And they could get the EC Elizabeth Charles Immaculate Conception up in here if I got to get to the point where I got to stick my clit in myself and have my own child. I'll be fine, because don't nobody need that. I could do all by myself. And if they want to act like all these fake friends and enemies and families and all these bitches I fought is so-called concubines to my man, to to Christ. If they want to act like, oh, all my fake ass sisters and fake ass friends is supposed to be with my man and I ain't shit, then I'm like, fuck it then. You know what I'm saying? I ain't tripping. It's not funny. Don't laugh. Because when you laugh, they do spells. See, I didn't start a whole bunch of wars in the past life just for laughing. It's not funny, honey. Don't mess with God's funny bone. Because they're trying to have a funeral with fun. And it's not fun. It's not fun at all. For real. Why you think they got the word funeral? Why you think the word fun is in funeral? This is a really sick system here. It's really sad. That's why people are laughing because they want to cry. Real stuff. So I want to leave y'all with peace. I want to leave y'all with love. Thank the Most High, thank the ancestors, and thank yourself because the Most High and all the answers live within you. If I could realize this about me, guess what that means? Then I'm here to remind you to realize it about yourself because it's with me. Then it got to be about others. I can't be the only one. They say it's lonely at the top. I hope so. I hope not. Peace. Evil lie. Lie is evil. Wholeness.